Okay, a quick video about spinning chunky on the Nano. I don't normally spin this fat, so I'll be interested to see how well it copes with taking up this massive yarn when plying. My Nano is almost standard. I've replaced the yarn guides with 3D printed versions, replaced the brake band with a knob, a bit of crochet thread and a spring, and it's got the upgraded motor in. Maybe the 1.1, it's a test version, I'm not sure if it's exactly the same, but it's certainly very similar. You can see here my tension is quite high, far higher than I would normally spin with, because when you're taking up this sort of thickness of yarn, you need quite a good pull in. My speed's on about 50%. As this motor slows under load, that's actually quite slow. Because the tension's so high, I need to up the speed to get a sensible spinning speed. I have my battery in the bottom here, so I'll just plug everything in. I'm also going to plug my phone in, as having something go into the other USB port stops the battery turning itself off automatically. I normally put a little light in there, but I can't find it, so the phone will have to do. Okay, there we go. Yeah, you can see. So I still need to draft moderately quickly, as this is so fast. The twist builds up very quickly. So spinning as fat as I can and still be even. I'm not a chunky spinner, but this looks fine. You can see I've removed the orifice reducer just to take away a possible source of friction, and if you've got the original yarn guide, you might find spinning a yarn this fat catches on them, so you may have to rotate your flyer arm or even replace the guides if you're having lots of problems. In fact, I may look for my original guides and see if I can manage to spin with them. I shall return if I can find. Okay, original guides discovered in box of junk. So I'm gonna replace these 3D printed ones with these. My flyer arm's also rotated, so I might have a bit of excess friction. I may have to deal with that, we will see. Okay, there's my guides on. That bit's full. So that's making a nice bar. I don't know if you can see, I'm actually not getting any rubbing between the singles and the flyer at this angle, so I should be good to go. There we go, I'm still getting take up even with the original guides. Now, I'm sure I could switch back to the original brake band as well, but I found that a lot fiddlier, so trust me, it's doable, but you might have to mess a little bit, making it tighter and looser in very small increments. I like a string system like this because it's what I'm used to. I've had it on all my other wheels. Now I'll stop and have a look at what I've spun. I've got my control card here. This is looking at about 10-12 wraps per inch, so I'm planning to, if it will let me chain ply this, I will end up with a yarn about 5-6 wraps per inch, which is way fatter than anything I regularly use, but I'll hopefully be able to incorporate it into some weaving or something and give you and myself an idea of exactly what the Nano can do. While I'm here, I'll also show you how I chain ply, because the good thing about an e-spinner is it doesn't have to be right in front of you. So I actually put it off to one side and work across my body, which I find ergonomically a little bit more comfortable, especially on my left shoulder, which was injured a few years ago in an accident. Right, this isn't quite a full bobbin, but it's getting there, so I will stop and rearrange myself and return ready for plying. I'm back to try plying. I've got my yarn threaded through my 3D printed yarn guides this time, because the yarn I'm spinning is actually bigger than these little holes here, so that's a good guide. If your yarn's fatter than your yarn guides, there's no way you're going to be able to spin it using them. You know, see, this is like rope sort of thickness, so I need to use my 3D printed guides. Okay, I am getting cake up. You see, this is how I like to chain ply across my body. I find it far more comfortable. The only problem with spinning yarn this fat on the Nano is that my bobbin's getting full there already. I need to move my guides over, so it's not really that practical, but it is doable. Let's wind some of this on. No, I've got a little bit too much twist here, so there we go. Maybe I'll just stop spinning and let you see it take off. So this is winding on nicely, and it's winding on, and there, and it's winding on. So it works, it's just not really a very good idea spinning yarn this enormous with a bobbin this small. And so now I'm going to stop again to move my guide and deal with these tangles. Okay. I'm going to up my tension a little bit as well, which you will have to do every time you start to get a full bobbin. Just enough for it to take up. There we go. Oh, and I've run out of yarn. And that doesn't want to wind on anymore because it's full. So take some of this off. Slacken that off so my bobbin actually moves. You can see it is possible to spin yarn this ridiculous level of chunkiness on the Nano. I'm just not sure you would want to. I've got just a few meters and my bobbin is full, so doable, perhaps not recommended, but you can spin very chunky on the Nano.